And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the OIC 10 Entrepreneur Champions weekly conference call. My name is Norm Bond. Happy that you're joining us for this call. Happy to be doing this interview and want to wish everybody a happy new year. I know that this is actually our second call of the year, but this call we're going to get into our entrepreneurial interviews that we do. And last week we really talked about some of the trends and things that we saw happening for 2013. That was myself along with Deborah Scotty Scott, the communications director at OIC. But this week we're getting back to our format. You can hear that previous call that I mentioned on the OIC 10, on the OIC, I should say, Facebook page, which is facebook.com/OIC of America. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we want to thank you for joining us. And this call is really about promoting entrepreneurship and helping to create and advance an entrepreneur movement. It's also about the establishment of an endowment to help fund that movement. And also, it's about providing tools and training to help entrepreneurs. So you're going to hear about some of those things this evening, how you can get involved with some of those activities. And it's being brought to you and organized by OIC of America. And if you're not familiar with OIC and the founder, Reverend Dr. Leon Sullivan, you definitely want to go to the website. And I'll give you that website, which is www.oicofamerica.org. oicofamerica.org. You'll want to take a look at the website and find out more about Reverend Sullivan. He developed the historic 1036 plan to raise funds directly from the community to build Progress Plaza here in Philadelphia, which was the first black-owned and operated shopping center in America, and he did that in 1968. And OIC is retooling his grassroots approach and working on this effort, which is to help build this movement around entrepreneurship and really promote the growth of an entrepreneurial mindset. So we come to you each week at 9 p.m. Eastern. We give you some background, and then we do an interview with a entrepreneur who is really setting a great example in helping us to demystify the whole topic of entrepreneurship. So tonight, our entrepreneur, we're going to get right into this portion, is DuPreeShamir. And a lot of people know Brother Shamir. He's really active as an entrepreneur. He's the CEO of Social Therapy Magazine. We're going to hear more about that. He's also with Pretty Candles. He's Rastad's Everything Body LLC. He's got about 10 different entrepreneurial ventures that he's working on. And in addition to that, the focus of his magazine is really featuring unsigned, signed, as well as independent artists, and it's a voice for the voiceless. In addition to that, it helps re-educate people who are unaware about the importance of health, finance, relationships, and as he says, everybody needs some social therapy in their lives. So we want to welcome Brother DuPreeShamir to the program. How you doing, brother?
I'm feeling good. Thanks for having me. How y'all feel?
Feeling good. So we're glad that you're here. I gave a brief introduction, and I know you've had a long day, and we really appreciate you taking the time to share some of your entrepreneurial insights with our listeners this evening. And why don't we'll jump into it with, why don't you talk about what sparked your interest in entrepreneurship and how that came to be?
Well, at the age of 14, I was, making, uncut oils. So I always had that entrepreneurial mindset as a young teenager, selling uncut oils, and just always something that I always wanted to do. I always wanted to have my own business. I always wanted to be empowered. I always wanted to, just do different things as far as, just working for myself. I always had that grind of wanting to do that, to want to be a business owner. And, just when why I came about, as far as, creating a magazine last year, January 2012, I wanted to give a platform for artists to, those who are, being overlooked in the industry, or just as far as independent artists, and just basically create a platform for that, for our social therapy magazine. And I think it was always in my essence to, have a business or, as far as being an entrepreneur. That was always what I wanted to do, and I'll continue still doing that.
Okay. So tell people about Social Therapy Magazine. What is the, I know you mentioned bringing a voice to the voiceless, but, what can people expect when they come and see the magazine and when they visit your website?
Right, social therapy. When the people ask me all the time when I got social therapy, where I get it from, like social therapy, it's life. We need therapy through music, through art, craft, poetry, and I just feel as though that you always need something that's going to be fruitfulness, that you can look at a magazine where you can have people who get opportunity to put their poetry in there, or, we should have a section where it's dealing with health, different sections dealing with business, finance. I just wanted to just kind of have something where when you look at a magazine, there's different things that's in there that people can relate to and they can adapt to what's going on in their communities and what is need to be what is need to be heard as far as health. A lot of folks don't have health care. A lot of folks don't go to the doctors. A lot of folks don't know how to budget their money. They don't know. They don't. So a lot of folks don't have bank accounts. A lot of folks don't know another way of just healing their soul. And they need to, like, as far as reading books. 90% is. I'm not. I'm just thinking. It's more women read books than us as men. There's more women read books. I think we're getting to a point that brothers need to read more books. We just need to basically be uplifted, those who are not aware of, certain things that can help them to keep them fruitfulness, keep them growing, and keep them prosperity, like knowing how to do certain things that give them hope, in this life.
Okay. Well, you also recently held your first uh, Social Therapy Magazine Awards, the award show, which you did, and you did it here in Philadelphia. You did it at, I thought, a great venue down at Black and Nobel. Talk a little bit about, how that was. I know the turnout was awesome. It was really a packed event. Talk about that and what that meant to you as an organizer, to bring your audience to a live event and some of that process.
I saw the power in that, as far as bringing that event together, bringing that event for those who was being recognized as being overlooked in the industry. A lot of the artists, and we definitely had different sections in that, as far as authors of the year, music director of the year, groups, artists of the year, and stuff like that. I just thought that seeing people come out and support STM, I thought that it was a great movement just to see people come out. There was no violence. Everybody came together and everybody had a good time. And that was my first event, So you always want to make sure that the very first, you always want to leave a good impression on your first award show that you do. So I really think that I really, came with great progress with that, as far as putting that together. I just want to thank Muffin and Cashmere and a lot of folks that. I also want to thank Brother Hakeem and Brother Tyson for just allowing me to just have that event there, And I feel as though that I'm making history by just being a leader, just trying to just constantly work hard and just constantly, putting the name out there and, just hoping that I can create jobs for those who don't have a job.
Yeah.
We have a mission. We have a mission here. I have a mission that, I feel as though God has given me a mission to do. I don't want to sit and I don't want to sit and see things happening. I didn't make a change, because what good is it if I didn't make a change and I'm not doing something? Then it's worthless. If I'm not going out there and maybe I can change like somebody's life, and I'm hoping
Yeah.
that what I'm doing, as far as the journey that I'm taking, that I can really open up some doors. Because like for example, right, I had a lot of your brothers and sisters will hit me up on Facebook or call me and are you hiring right now? And brother, man, you don't know how that made me feel like, and just that to tell them that I can't. A lot of them they look up to me like it's like
Yeah,
I'm
well, you had
good. I
people come
got
up.
them.
There were people from North Carolina that came up for the event. I know you had some of the artists that
Right,
I
right,
met that came
yeah,
in from in North
yeah,
Carolina, of course, all across Philadelphia.
no,
So they definitely were looking up to you and connecting with your leadership.
absolutely. So when you have somebody that called me up and asked me, "Am I hiring right now?" I'm hoping at the point where I can start hiring more people. I can start creating more avenues. That would mean something to me, though, brother. No, that would mean something to me. That make me feel like I have a calling, and I'm
Mhm.
just hoping that I know that I'm leading in the right direction, and I'm just going to continue to work hard, you know.
Now, being in this industry, that because you're in entertainment, you're in music
Mhm.
and in the fashion as well. That's an industry, all of those really, where you see a lot of people, particularly a lot of young people that want to break into the business. Like, what type of advice do you offer since you've worked with a number of people in the industry and you're in it yourself? Like, what type of entrepreneurial advice would you give someone who said, you know what, I'm looking at that, I'm interested, where do I go from here?
I would tell them do your research. For the foremost, do your research. You know, stay around a positive circle. Go to the library. You know, go to the library. Even Black and Nobel's got a lot of business books in there as well. But I would say like just kind of do your research first. Don't jump into something real quick if you're not sure of. Just yeah, just basically search and look and kind of do that first before you jump into anything. I think that's the most important thing. Doing your research and making sure that you understand the business. Get a entertainment attorney or get somebody that can give you the proper information on the knowledge because there's a lot of cutthroats in the industry. We know this is a
Mhm.
cutthroat industry in the entertainment world, and it's not always glitz and glamour. It's not all good. There can be some good in it, and there can be some bad in it. But if in the entertainment world, if it's leading in a good, positive direction that can be uplifting people, then I think that it's really worth it. But you really got to be careful to jump into anything you're not sure of because people robbing people every day. People being robbed right now in the entertainment world. Behind
Yeah.
these closed doors. So I'll suggest to anyone that's want to be an artist, or whatever artist, whatever the case, or actress, or actor, or a model. You just gotta really do a research because it's a cutthroat industry. It's
Mhm.
how I feel. I feel like you should really do a real thorough research and then find people that can give you the right proper information.
Okay. Now, I also know you mentioned Facebook. I know you're also on Twitter, and talk about the
Mm-hmm.
importance and what social media and technology and social media in particular, what role they've played in social therapy. And before you answer that, let me just say for the people who are just dialing in, this is the OIC 10 Entrepreneur Champions weekly conference call. We come to you each Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. My name is Norm Bond. I'm moderating the call. We have Deborah Scotty Scott. She's on. She's the communications director at OIC of America, and we're interviewing tonight DuPreeShamir. He is the CEO of Social Therapy Magazine, and he's given us some insight as the CEO of Social Therapy Magazine. And we're also going to get him to talk about some of these other entrepreneurial ventures of his that I mentioned at the beginning. But right now, if you would continue, Brother Dupree, with the information in terms of the technology and the social media.
Right. Facebook. is a great platform. It's good and it's bad. But I think it's a great platform for folks that if you in the industry, far as business or far as business and entertainment, it's a great platform because I can tell you like 96, 97% of the people that I know now, I met on
Mhm.
Facebook, I met on Twitter, and it was good and it's bad, and the technology of the day,
Now why? Now why? Well,
Twitter.
explain why is it good and why is it bad? What do you mean? What
Okay,
were some
for
of the good
example,
aspects? Give a couple examples of the
I'm gonna
good
answer you.
and the bad if you could.
Okay, the good is people use it in a good way, whether it's like networking with folks, families, or educational, business, entertainment. I think that's it's good, but when it gets the bad side of it, where people uh, abuse abuse that platform, they abuse that, far as it could be a lot of negative stuff. We know how Facebook is. A lot of people put a lot of negative things on Facebook, but at the end of the day, it's a great platform for people to network with other folks. I figure, like, far as positive, you can another author can meet another entrepreneur can meet another entrepreneur. I
Mhm.
think that it's a great helpful tool. These social networks are a great helpful tool, but sometimes um, you have some people that abuse it, far as for different reasons, But I know that it's a great tool.
So you're focused in how you use it. It sounds like so you get the business aspects out of it.
Right, right. I
Mhm.
mean, most of the time, like, yeah, I would say, most of me networking with a lot of folks is like really business, whether it's business or entertainment or just me, just kind of connecting with lost friends and stuff like that. So it's a great tool. It is a great networking tool
What about
that
Twitter? I
that I
see that you also are tweeting out information as well. Do you use how do you use that tool, in your business?
with the Twitter. Yeah, the Twitter, like, I definitely use that as far as networking with other people that's in the industry, entertainment industry. Um, you know, that yeah, Twitter is something because you trying to get people to follow you. It's kind of hard for people to follow you, but you get it more on Facebook. You get people just to add you in, but Twitter is a little bit different. You definitely try to get people to follow you. Another good tool as well.
It
So
seemed like a lot of your artists were tweeting that, and at the event, they seemed to be going on with the phones right there at the event, and they were tweeting out links
oh
and the
yeah.
photos. I saw some of those when I got back on. They were using it pretty heavy. So is that how you interact with a lot of your artists, or do a lot of the artists find you on
Pretty
those
sure.
platforms?
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, a lot of them I interact like that on Twitter or Facebook. Or a lot of them they call me and stuff like that, ask for advice or some questions and this and that. But yeah, social network, the media is a powerful tool. It's definitely
Okay.
a powerful tool. And like I said, I done met great people like yourself, brother Noah, on here.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's definitely a great positive tool if you
Now
use it right.
talk about some of these other ventures because I mentioned part of your bio, but you've got a number of other entrepreneurial ventures that you're involved in as well. So share with the people, some of those ventures, and then we'll talk about how people can also connect with you.
Sure. Like the one thing I got going on is the Pretty Candles LLC. I kind of make products. I make gel candles, bath crystals, shower gels. We were getting back into that real heavy now, but that's something that I did on my own. It's something like I love a beautiful smelling scent. So that's something I always it's a craft. I love to do it. So I'm hoping that definitely will blow into a nice business where I can employ you know create jobs with that. Also, the Rockstar Apparel T-shirt line. You know, the Rockstar came in my dream in 2000. Rockstar stands for reality always speaks through a dream. That's what Rockstar stands for. I used to get the little people used to hit me up all the time asking me there's no affiliation with the Rastafarians, you know. But just Rockstar came in my dream, you know. And that's how that all came about. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna make this a T-shirt. You know, just something that's positive. Reality always speaks through a dream, you know. And the Rockstars Everything Body LLC is just like a company as a whole, as far as the products, the T-shirt line, you know, just basically having that entity right there. And, you know, I'm also like a member of Drop That Entertainment, a member of that. That's more like an entertainment company. Shout out to T Sweets out in Delaware. You know, she has a company. She got entertainment as far as models and artists and stuff like that. So, I mean, that right there. Then I was just named a publisher for this magazine coming out, Brotherly Love, coming out in spring of 2013. Shout out to Jim. Shout out to him. And I got a lot going on.
You got a lot. That's what I'm saying. You got a lot of ventures
There's
there.
So
it's not like a lot of jobs that you're going to be creating.
And that's the goal. That's the goal, brother Norm. I mean, I talked to you before in the past, you know, and you always told me. You said, you know what, you gonna be creating a job. You definitely. They're not trying to hire me, man. They're not trying to hire me, man.
And that's the thing, though. But
man.
I think you're saying that is the heart of entrepreneurship, is to be able to create a job based on filling a need, and you recognize different needs in the economy and the marketplace, and then filling those needs and being able to create jobs off of that. And I think that's important for our community, because what we're seeing is that the general economy is not creating enough jobs. I mean, particularly for African Americans, the unemployment rate keeps going up. It just went up in December. So what you're saying, you know, one of the reasons I was really interested in working with you and connecting with you is because, you know, you are focused on creating jobs, and you're bringing a lot of young people, it seems, into the mix of what you're doing as well.
Absolutely. See, man, I wake up every day. You know what troubles me, brother? What troubles me, like, we don't reap the benefit of nothing, and we don't really reap the benefit of nothing. Like, every year in this economy, we generate in the billions and millions. You know, every other ethnicity just is eating off what we created, eating off the plates. Like, we just don't reap no benefits, man. It shouldn't be no brothers out here homeless or no sisters homeless. It should be nobody unemployed. Everybody is reaping the benefit, and we don't reap nothing of this nothing of this. You know what I mean? And that's what bothers me every day. It's like we just they always try to label us at 3/5 of a man. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm beyond all that. You know, I'm a king at the end of the day. You know, I'm one of God's children. I feel like I just feel like I gotta keep pushing and keep moving and being around brothers like yourself, because I just feel like everybody eating off our plate. You know what I mean? We ain't getting nothing out of it though. Nobody should be poor. You know what I mean? Nobody.
So you took that. So you
took
that frustration, really, and then that's what drives you to, at the end of the day, create the ventures that you've created, which is good. I mean, because some people just get mad and they don't put it down on a pad and mic it, as Chuck D would say. So let me do this. Why don't we give out your information though for people, so that I want to make sure we get your website in, or you know, at least we'll give out your website address, and your other, you know, way to contact you. Why don't we start with that?
Sure. Well, you know, social therapy, www.socialtherapystm.com is you can go on the website now, but we're gonna definitely it's gonna be under construction. We're gonna make it more better, but people can go on there. They can also follow us. Say the
address one more time for people who might have missed that. One more time.
Sure. That's www.socialtherapystm.com.
Okay.
And they can.
And then you're also on follow you on what, Twitter, and going to get that out.
Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter. Sure, they can follow us on Twitter, Social Therapy #1. And, you know, they can go to, like, videos that we have done, interview videos we had done on YouTube. They can go at www.youtube.com/socialtherapymag.
Okay, so you're on all those platforms. So you're on social therapy is on YouTube, you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook, you got the website, and you're gonna be updating the website. You're saying as well, which is good. Let me let Scotty jump in here. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother Dupree.
Oh no, go ahead, brother.
No, I was Scotty. I know we got Deborah Scotty Scott. She's tweeting and also on the on our console. I wanted to give her a chance. Scotty, are you there?
Of course. This is the only place to be on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Well, I know you've been hearing this, and I wanted to give you a chance as we come to near the end here to ask a question or make a comment.
Well, I do. The advice that you were giving to youth about make sure you do your research before jumping into the entertainment world, do you find that research, due diligence, anything along those lines, what is it that you find youth tend to get or tend to look at unrealistically about getting into the entertainment business in any form, that they don't do enough due diligence and get the information right before they decide, well, this is what I want to do? Do they get hung up on the glamour? Or with all the examples that you were giving earlier, how do you get them to focus so that they really know this is what they want to do?
You know, I think that's a great question you just asked in there. I just think, you know, a lot of artists, you know, they get real excited. They sign a contract without even reading the contract, and you know, that's when you see the glitz and glamour instead of really having someone to go over your contract with you, to look over everything very carefully, because sometimes you can sign your life away. You know, you sign your publishing away. You sign everything you work so hard for to the record labels or the people that's controlling labels. You sign, you know, it's sometimes I just think when you need people that can put you in that right direction, that can just kind of help you through. You know, when you sign these contracts to these you know, getting signed to these record labels, it's important to know, you know, what you're signing first. You know, I just think a lot of people get excited, and some people can mislead other people. You know, they just do that. But I think it's very important for people to just educate themselves and find people. If they don't know, they need to, you know, ask questions. You know, Google things, and I mean, I just think that's very important to do, you know, knowing copyrights, knowing about the copyrights and everything that you're doing as an artist to protect your work and make sure that you get your royalties and your publishing that's owed to you as an artist.
I think that's great advice. Great advice.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you for that, Brother Dupree. That was good insight. For people who are just joining us, and I see people on the Facebook page, and it's great. We've been talking with DuPreeShamir. He's the CEO of Social Therapy Magazine, as well as he mentioned some of the other entrepreneurial ventures that he is involved with. Each Thursday, we come to you with these OIC 10 Entrepreneur Champion weekly conference calls, and you can learn more about the OIC organization by visiting the OIC website, which is www.oicofamerica.org. And this is part of the Entrepreneurial Mindset Initiative of OIC. And OIC, again, was founded by Reverend Leon Sullivan, who developed the historic 1036 plan. If you're not familiar with Reverend Sullivan and with OIC of America, you definitely should go to the website. You'll thank yourself after you go there and read about this great organization and what it's done in our community. And this effort helps to really update and advance a lot of the work that Reverend Sullivan was doing, because it's focusing on entrepreneurship. So you can also learn more about this effort When you go to the website, you'll see information about our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/OIC of America. We're also on YouTube, where you can watch videos of previous events that we've done, including the press conferences that we've had where we launched this initiative. And we're also on Twitter at OIC America. Another phase of this effort to fund it, we're looking to actually create an endowment, and we're looking to have 1 million people donate $10, and there's a number of ways that could be done, but the point of that will be to be able to create an endowment where we could actually fund additional programs off of the interest that it comes to that endowment, so that the principal stays in place, and so that we're not tied to the whims of the political or other organizations in terms of foundations. And as we see now, a lot of people who have good causes and efforts, because people's political interests have changed, these people are scrambling for funding. Our goal is to fund this through the community and through the entrepreneurs and others who listen. So there are a number of ways you can do it. We're talking about making a donation of $10, which you can actually one way you can do it is through mobile giving, where you can actually text the letters OIC to 41010. That's OIC to 41010, and you would be able to make a one-time $10 donation, or you can do it more times if you like. We're flexible, but the goal is to get 1 million people to do that, and then be able to fund this, and then also, as I mentioned, be able to create programs, be able to create support. When you go to the OIC website, you'll see there a distance learning. You'll see the virtual academy. You can click on that, see some of the types of educational programs we set up for entrepreneurs. So there's a lot going on. It's really just getting started. We're really just starting to build this, but we've got a number of entrepreneurs we interview, and we want to mark your calendar for each Thursday to come here and check this out. And then you can hear previous interviews also when you go to our Facebook page. So go to facebook.com/OIC of America, like the page. You can scroll down and hear previous interviews we've done with entrepreneurs. You also will be able to hear this interview in its entirety on that same page. So as we close out this interview, Brother Shamir, I want to thank you one more time for all that you've done and continue to do. And one more time before we close